I have to kill this audio. Yeah, come on in. We got a very powerful service for everybody today. We got a very powerful service for y'all today. Come on in. Come on in. Got some personal stories off the top. I went to the club yesterday. I think that's, something that we should talk about. Went to the club. Got picked up. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what's going on in Africa. We got to do some I almost said Afro updates. That's not righteous. But let's do some... Oh, this channel is called Exploratics. Exploratics. So we're going to be checking out Exploratics today. 55K views 5 days ago. You know what? It's got some good rips in it. It's got some good rips, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Also, we got African Insider. That's going to be a good rip, too. No, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about all the issues going on in the culture today, people. Let me manifest myself and manifest it. Wow. I can't believe this is working. It's so easy, the OBS setup, compared to going through StreamYard. Why am I going through StreamYard? I already got a text from CoffeeZilla being like, yo, looking good. He sent something like, proud of you, baby, looking good in there. Yeah, it's crazy, eh? It's almost like my brain. He goes, hey, Habibi, recent stream is good quality video. So proud. And then there's a tear face. He's crying. This is the full quality video, people. This is it. Let's land this ship, people, shall we? Lots to talk about today. Lots to talk about. But, here, let's see if we can manifest me a little bigger. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the service. Enlarging manifestation. Wow. This program is fantastic. By the way, can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear the music? Let me know in the... I mean, you can't even let me know in the comments because I can't see the goddamn comments. Best Daryl says the great stuff. Richard Matthews is here. Baba G. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, how crazy, eh? That you can just manifest bigger and smaller. This thing is powerful, dude. This OBS, and then yeah, Steven sent me a text immediately after yesterday's. He probably saw that Trump speech and got fucking bonered up like the rest of us. Holy shit, dude. How does that guy just keep coming back? I don't know if we're gonna talk about him today, by the way. You gotta take a break. When I saw that Trump speech yesterday, watch yesterday's episode again. It was just a test stream. But even on the test stream we brought on that video, oh my God. You tell me that rip, you're not getting fully wrecked? Forget it. I don't buy it. It's too good. The new Trump, forget his campaign speech, his like comeback speech, it's so powerful as a pontification that like, if you don't like it, you're too partisan probably. You know what I mean? It's tight. I listen to motivational shit all goddamn day. Chipko says, hello, righteous ones. Thanks, Chipko. We are very righteous in this congregation. And let me tell you, got some very powerful topics today. But yeah, yesterday we did get a message from our dear leader, Steven. And he did say, like, love the film quality. Let me manifest myself a little bigger for you guys here. Great topics today. It's going to be a very powerful righteousness report. Okay. Okay. And there we go. Manifest. Enlarging manifestation. Full manifest. Thanks for coming, everyone. Let me know if you can hear the music. But that music got a little too sad, actually. Let's go to something. Let's go to this one. No. Yeah. This is nice adventurous music. And a good way to open the rips. Because today we do have, like, the new graphics that are coming. Woo! Woo! Hit the like, hit the subscribe. let the whole community know that you are listening to the most righteous rips in the whole goddamn community. Certified rips. Certified pontifications. Because as you saw in the intro graphics, I am certified. All these other pundits, these other political pundits, they just say pundit. They're idiots, half of them. Partisan hacks. And they say pundit? They insult. That's a Hindu title. The Pandit, it's called a Pandit. It's called a Pandit. And all these idiot, and they, since the 70s, they've just been calling these dinglings partisan hacks, selling COVID vaccines, selling military industrial complex propagandizings. And they say, oh, this one is a pundit. That's actually really funny that they're called pundits, though. That is the culture kind of acknowledging that, like, these guys are idiots. They're just like a type of like performer. You know what? Have you guys ever heard the phrase, Washington is Hollywood for ugly people? Journalism is, you know, that's what it's become. Journalism is like, do another one. It's like, okay, journalism is like Hollywood for like kind of good looking people. Kind of good looking people took a run at it, didn't work out, now it's a pundit. So it is like an acting role. And I am the most certified to do these rips, actually, if you think about it. Yeah, dude. That's great. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I'm going to figure out how to put your comments on the screen. We're going to figure that out one of these days. Because I do think it's important we get the comments on here. But I will show you our first righteousness. We got some great rips today. But again, thank you for coming. I do appreciate you. Without you, I'm just a crazy person in the void. But with your audience backing, audience energy backing it, now I am a pundit. And I can perform punditry on all political topics. All dating, red pill. We're going to do a lot of that too. And then a lot of like, what's the alternative to the scam? What's the alternative to the cult, the scam, the red pill, the NoFap coach? What's the alternative? Though that's also something I want to start doing on the show, is showing you my cold dips. You need that. You need to know that your Babaji's working on shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you a cold dip I did in the winter, actually. I can show you that. I did a ripper in the winter. I was showing some people yesterday. They were very impressed. Hold on. Let me manifest Instagram page. Manifest it. No. Okay, well. First I have to unmanifest me. No. Unmanifest graphics. Unmanifest this. This one? Okay, no, this one. Oh, here we go. No, okay, hold on. Unmanifest it. There we go. So this, I'll show you. Dun, 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 dun. Can y'all see that okay? Can everybody see? Oh, that's perfect. There we go. It's there. Oh my God. No, see, it has to be recentered. So this is a little cold dip, fun dip I did. Little cold dip, fun dip. There we go. So powerful. I don't know if you guys are into this. You guys doing this? I think it's mandatory karmas, by the way. Like, you know, we're doing, in the 80s, nobody would have said, oh, people are going to go running in, like, later on. You know what I mean? Nobody would have said that. Let's manifest myself now. Hold on. Let's small manifest it. Shrink the manifestation. Center it, fool. There we go. And, yeah. You know, more stuff like that I want to start bringing onto the podcast, though. I think it's important for the culture. You know what I mean? To let you guys know that I'm not just out here doing punditry and pontifications. I got the certifications. I'm doing the training to back it up. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, thank you for that. Fuck, now I gotta okay. Remanifest enlarged, take off comment, take that, remove that. Okay, well now that's over there. Imagine I just open a screen and it's just hardcore porn. It's gotta be a twist though. It's gotta be like porn, but like, you know, it's gotta be like stepbrother's cousin porn. Something dumb. Because you can't just pull up a porn scene and it's just two hot girls fucking. Then you look like a piece of shit. You look like a scumbag. Especially if they're just two, like, 18-year-old white girls going hardcore. Then you look like a piece of shit. But if you pull it up and it's... That would honestly be my first defense. If I was ever on a Zoom call and they call me jerking off, you know, and I think this is a very important pontification. Like, because this is something that we should all be thinking about. You guys ever see like a car accident or like a robbery situation and you're like, okay, in your brain, you just start calculating. I will chop the knife out and pat, roll over, jump behind the thing, jump kick. I will destroy them all and then I will run. And I'll save everyone. You guys ever do that? You just make up like a fantasy. You just make up like a, I know what I would do. Something like this. And you just, you know, you got to figure it out. Just in your head. It's not even real. It's just a pretend thing. Hold on. Let me get these comments up, goddammit. You guys ever do that? Put it in the comments if you ever do that. And I'm going to figure out how to get the goddamn comments on it. Let's figure out how to manifest these goddamn comments. And this is why you guys should be probably leaving donations. Because what do we need now? We obviously need an OBS assistant. This is incredible. I mean, can you see this quality? Like I said, we already got a text message from the dear leader, your boy, CoffeeZilla. Oh, how did that happen, dude? I don't even know how this thing is just ready to go. Oh, because it's me. Okay, I got you. Okay. This is very meta. I'm playing a clip. This is probably not the way to bring over comments, by the way. We're not doing a, what's it called? OBS tutorial. But dude, imagine in 6 months I'm doing OBS tutorials. Manifest my frame over. God damn it. There we go. Palvinder Singh is back. Jimmy Olson is back. Bobcat, Smooth Operator, Omar, Sabru, Fausto, Rashadi. What a name, dude. That's the most righteous name of the day, probably. I would have said Omar Sabir, but I don't know. Fausto Rashadi. True Bollywood. Who, me? Fausto Rashadi. But there we go. Okay, good. A lot of good karmas there in the chat section. Amish's Wim Hof. Yes, I am that powerful. Listen, my powers are coming in. Okay, like I said, I'm doing punditry here. And tonight at 9 p.m. I actually have them. I teach a class because the best teacher is learning. Wait, no, the best teacher is the student. The student is and a group of students is your highest master. That is the greatest teacher. So I'm always doing ongoing trainings. It's the ice bath. It's the Wim Hof. It's all the stuff. I'm doing all the stuff. I'm always training because we got to raise the vibration, get the vibration raised for you guys. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, this is my intro time. You guys are my dearest disciples. And so letting my word raise your vibration, it honors all of us. It honors the whole community because all we have to do is raise the vibration. And if you go back in vibration raised after some good pontifications, then you'll be a vibration raising source out in the community too. Anyway, my name's Amish. I told you the credits. I think it would be so funny if the next time Steven did the show, I was like, Steven, it's Master Shri now. You have to call me Master Shri. That would be good, right? That's a good bit. But listen, that's where it's going, guys. The certifications are coming in. Before you know it, I'm going to have to tell people like, oh, it's Master Shri now. Imagine you tell your mom and she's like, fuck you. I changed your diapers, you piece of shit. Shut up. No, but that's not what they do. A lot of the Guruji moms Oh, by the way, we got to talk about Nityananda today. But a lot of these Guruji moms, they're like, oh, my son is most powerful Guru. Oh, my son. Like, they'll start touching the son's feet. They're crazy. But then the son will touch the mom's feet, and they'll do that whole thing too. But yeah, I think that would be that's a good bit. It's like, every time someone comes on, I got to be like, sorry, can I just stop you right there? No, we're doing great. Audio's great. Everything's great. It's Master Shri now. I do have to let you know. Thank you. No, continue. Yep. Master Shri Amish Patel. Yeah. You got to, listen, here's the certifications. The only pundit in the game with the certifications. So if I got the certifications, let's give it a Master Shri. Shall we? Powerful topics today. We got to talk about... man, yesterday I got picked up at a bar. Excuse me? She was like It was a cute lady. She was just wearing like a blazer with just the strap bra on, the sports bra. Pink sports bra with a blazer. What do you guys think that means in the comments? Don't be inappropriate. What do you guys think that means? You know what? Came in, and my buddy was saying that since she came in, she saw me, and I literally wasn't going to wear the hat today. But this hat and this beard, and she just saw it, and she was like, huh. I didn't know. It's crazy how some people tell me, like, why are you wearing a hat? What's the hat? Some people do that. Like, this guy came from England, and he's a weirdo, silly guy. He comes from England. He's like my cousin's husband or whatever. It's fine. He comes from England. He goes, hey mate, I saw you with that beard on YouTube or whatever. But then I was like, oh, you can't be doing a beard like that for real. But now here I am, and it is real. Huh? That's your beard? All right. What is this guy's problem? You know what I mean? And he has just a dirty, dumb goatee. Like from the 80s. He just has a standard goatee. Nothing, like, see how I'm pointing a little bit? I'm pointing with this a little bit. You know, we are in the Leela here. We're in the dance of life. So we're going to do something silly. I kind of like that about Russell Brand, actually, and some characters like that. Cardi B. I like that every time you see her, she's just wearing something silly. And I think I want to do more of that. As a certified Baba G. You know, because when you start telling people, like, hey, it's Master Shri, you want to have, like, you want to be wearing something to back it up. So I think I'm going to go African shirts, those hyper colorful. They're like Indian shirts, but the African ones are like 10 times the colors. They're like so bright. And then, so I think I'm going to go with some of those. I actually found a guy in Toronto who makes them. Manifest full screen it. Let them hear the Pontifications. Thank you. But I'm going to go with those. And then there's custom spiritual clothing makers. So I might get like a hoodie. But the Indian, you know the Indian style shirt, the kurta goes all the way down to your ankles? That, but it's a hoodie here up. You know what I'm saying? So then I'm walking around like Assassin's Creed, just in the earth. And I'm allowed to do that because like I said, I'm a pundit, I'm pontificating, I'm an artist. A lot of big projects coming up this summer. Oh, by the way, I have a show on Monday. If you're in Toronto, add me on Instagram, then you'll get all the listings. Then you'll know and follow the Instagram and look at it and say, oh, he's performing this day. On Friday, 3 people came to see me at a show. Isn't that crazy? It was more just like they saw the flyer on Instagram and they messaged. That's how you sell shit, though. It's crazy how many people are buying, and I don't want to say it's a scam, but like there's all these get-rich-quick classes and they're teaching you like, here's how you get rich. And the thing that they can't teach you is like, you have to message all your friends and family and be like, hey, you want to do it? Because that's how a lot of businesses are built, kind of. Like, you start with the friends and family. Like, let's just say you do a small restaurant. You almost want to invite all your friends initially and be like, yo, you guys come, whatever. And then just, it's so fucking banger that they're just, like, obsessed. They're like, oh, my God, we love coming here. It's so bad. It's amazing. It's the best. We're going to tell everyone we're going to come. That's how you start a business. But then some people, they'll start a business and they'll be like, I hired a marketing and PR firm and they haven't brought in the traffic. I paid good money for that marketing and PR firm. It's like, dude. I guess it is like hiring someone to holler at bitches for you. Because you can do that on the internet. You can just hire a guy to message matches. But I don't know. Literally not enough matches. And I don't like that. But I was telling a friend like a little while ago. She was like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, not enough money, not enough pussy. But I'm good. Not complaining. I'm having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to our first pontification, shall we? Shall we go to pontification number 1? This is from Exploratics, and I do think it's important that in the culture, look, you're not going to get this everywhere, but I do think it's important in the culture that we represent African voices more. So let's manifest that. Okay, here we go. No. There we go. Let's manifest it. Wow, I like this music. How do you guys feel about this music? There we are. Okay. BRICS has finally overtaken... Oh my god, this hurts. This does hurt, but if you're a peace activist like I am, then some part of you does feel like, you know what? You know, like I'm not happy that it's not working out. The military stuff, the how do you block Africa, how do you block Russia by any means. I don't like it, but then you don't want to gloat either. Manifest it smaller, lower manifestation, raise manifestation to top left corner, activate. Let's take a look at this. The title is BRICS Plus has finally overtaken G7 in global GDP. Actually, our boy sent this to me, Applejack. CB Applejack sent me a picture of this in my Instagram. That's where I knew it was like this. We have to do this as a topic. But it says BRICS Plus has finally overtaken G7 in global GDP. BRICS Plus is dominating the economic plane. Come on, guys. Like, this was supposed to be quick operation, in and out, and we'll destroy Russia with these sanctions. And what's going on? What is this?
Based Mega Updates portal, one of the world's largest online informative platforms in terms of views, BRICS countries have officially surpassed the G7 in terms of proportion of global PPP GDP, and this trend is projected to continue.
PPP GDP. Oh my God, BRICS. Look at this. Doesn't this picture looks kind of scary, right? It's almost like, because it is like 5 countries. It's like the spirit of 5 nations is at a table. And together they will make a new world order. And it's like their shadows are on it. Because this is going to destroy the petrodollar, god damn it. And we need the petrodollar. Listen, if you're on this side, you can't just say, oh, hey, I you know, not to be unrighteous about it. But listen, if you're here, if you're a Westerner like me, then I think this is not good. What do you guys think in the comments? Tell me. But that's what they're going for. Whoever made this logo, which they made it, they're going for like the spotlight is on us, so there's a spotlight. Still, it is a shadowy board, so the shadows are there. But it is the spotlight is on us, not your petrodollar. Let's continue it.
The current BRICS currently accounts for 31.5% of global GDP, while the G7 contributes 30%. The BRICS are predicted to contribute more than 50% of global GDP by 2030, and the proposed enlargement would almost probably accelerate this. When comparing economies and purchasing power parity...
Applejack sent this chart to me. That's wild, dude. And when he sent it, I said, oh, getting direct feed from Putin, I bet. That's what I said to him. And he said, I am not a fan of Putin. But yeah, no, he sent this to me.
Terms, China's GDP actually surpassed that of the United States in 2015. This will usher in huge global changes, as Chinese President Xi Jinping said in his farewell remarks to Russian President Vladimir Putin as he returned to Beijing following their summit last week. The primary issue is that the BRICS grouping, including possible new members, is very much in the orbit of China and Russia, with the G7, including the EU and the US, losing tractional power among them. Western influence also seems to be...
Basically, the white man is finished. What do you guys think? Is the white man finished? Let me at least read your comments. Hold on. Prince, India, Omar Subir, Russian bot confirmed. Omar, dude, yeah, okay, I think I told you guys this yesterday, but I'll tell you again, because it's interesting and it's relevant. I was at a bar on Friday before a comedy show. And I'm at the bar and I tell this girl, I was just asking her, because she's from Russia. So I was just asking her, like, what do you think of the, I'm trying to edge in, like, so what do you think of the, you know what I mean? What do you think of the, the fighting and the war and what's going on there? And so I bring it up thinking, like, kind of feeling bad. Like, she doesn't want to talk about this, right? She's like, here, she's trying to get out of that. She doesn't want to talk about it. Anyway, I bring it up. And of course, we believe what we believe. I'm a peace activist. And according to my standards, and I'll bring my Babaji in. Hi, Babaji, what's up? Look at this guy. You think this guy's going to let anyone go to war? Tell me if you can see this. Do you see this guy? This is the top Babaji of Buddhism. And he's not going to let us just go to war. He's going to say, listen, have you explored all the options? He's going to say, fighting, but did you try dancing first? Why don't you do dancing? That's the kind of Babaji he is. Overweight, titties out, shoulder out like a little tart. That's what a lot of maybe more Western traditionalist religions would say. They'd say, this is your Babaji? He's fat. This is your Babaji? His boobies are out and fat guy and this and that. But yeah, it's crazy how many meditation coaches are just overweight. It does worry me a little bit. Because I went to this incredible 10-day silent retreat and that guy was even overweight. And I'm like, I thought we're sharpening up the mind so that we can destroy the market. And he did destroy the market with his locations. But, Anyway, the point is that I have to be pro-peace. So I make some pro-peace argument to this girl from Russia. And she goes, oh, looks like Putin's propaganda has taken over Canada too. I have to go. And she had to go somewhere. But then even as she's leaving, she looks back. She does those things that she leaves. And it's like she wants to tell me more. You know what I mean? And she's just like looking back. She's like, 70% of Twitter is Russian bots, by the way. Just so you know. Okay, thank you. And she just walked. And I'm like, she's from Russia, so I'm gonna tell her you don't know what the fuck your guy's doing. But that's all the more reason why, like, some people are traumatized by Putin and what he's done in the past. So maybe that's why they're having a hard, you can't think about it properly. You need someone to be like, hey, figure it out.
Fading as the...
Have a talk.
BRICS alliance continues to grow and attract membership pleas from around the globe. Recently, we learned that over 24 nations are showing interest in BRICS, and the numbers seem to be growing. We also know that Bangladesh, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates have all just joined the BRICS New Development Bank, with many more nations on the way.
That hurts, people. That hurts. It's like the hardworking immigrants are coming up, and the rotten Western mind is rotten, and they don't make money, stupid. Is that what's happening now? Is it? Because I guess you could say it's kind of deserved in a sense. Like, in the sense that, like, yeah, like the hardworking immigrants, they're rich now, and the scheming white people, sorry, but, the lazy Westerner who has been, watching TikToks and eating too much junk food and watching so much pornography. Watching all that pornography. There's an epidemic amongst men, I don't have to tell you. And you think that society is not going to suffer an economic consequence? Well, that's it. We're looking at it here. it almost feels like what America's doing now is they've gotten to the end of being productive, and now they're like, okay, now we got to bring in the military and just rule them. You know what I mean? I think that's where this is going. It almost feels like we're shifting into, and you know what's incredible? I've been watching Star Trek Picard. You guys watch Star Trek Picard? I'm watching season 2 so that I can bang out season 3 hard. Season 2, the second, third episode, they're in an alternate reality where human beings become hyper militaristic. And the Federation of Planets is a militaristic organization, and he's the main military guy. Picard is a military maniac in it. He's like a fascist. And all of humanity is fascistic. But some people are... Listen, if you got the money for the military, you're not going to go for it. You almost have to spend it at this point. And it seems like some people are saying that's what I think's going on. Anyway, let's continue.
It would seem that the G7 consistent failures on several fronts is costing the West a key strategic position of global dominance as the BRICS Plus alliance continues to garner support and solidarity all over the globe. So is BRICS finally taking over global economic leadership from the G7 alliance? And is Western global influence diminishing in favor of the East? Stay tuned and be kept up to date. Remember that subscribing and activating the bell notification feature will make you stay up to...
Yes, I do have to read the chat. Let's read the chat real quick. Let's see what we got here in the chat. Omar Sabur, wow, I'm half white, I'm half finished, LOL. Yes, Omar, Western mind is rotten. Your Western mind is a rotten, brother. Omar Sabur says, rest in peace, Gaddafi. I know. Dude, I can't believe how many people on the ground floor are so corporate and so chill about just like, well, I guess we gotta go to war. Hold on. Here we go. Wow. Okay, this is wild. All right, now we've entered some new metaverse inside of the OBS. But you guys can see me okay. We can see we got the comments on the screen, and here we go. Kai First is here. Kai, what's up, man? I'm eating homegrown banana and corn. Yummy. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for that, Omar Sabir. Someone says, oh no. Omar Sabir says, No Agenda podcast is one of my favorites for keeping up with global politics. Omar, here's the thing, right? Because I'm so righteous, right? Righteous rips raise the vibration. And here's the thing. You should probably feel it. Because when you hear, when the whole society is telling you lies, Omar, partisan hackery, then when you hear someone tell the truth, it creates a raise in the vibration. You just say, oh, good, someone is saying it. And we're going to say it, dude. I don't like this. I don't appreciate this attitude of like, we have to all pretend that things are going well with Ukraine. You know what I mean? Like, don't pretend. It's not good for you either if we all lie to ourselves and say like, oh yeah, Putin's dead. Hey, don't worry about him. I don't know. I'm not even saying he's doing well and I don't want him to do well, but I just don't even know what the hell's going on over there. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know, because he's lying about shit, and then the Americans are lying too. And I say the Americans because they are the big sinners in all this. I'd say, look, the Ukrainians are righteous, but the Putin is a sinner, and the American military state, deep state, they are also sinners. Don't just say one is and not the other. You know what I mean? That's actually where I got a point with the girl on Saturday, the Russian girl. That's where I got a point of agreement where I was like, well, we can agree that, the U.S. military is very large and very expanding, and they've taken over a huge chunk of the budget. We can agree on that. And she was like, yes, okay. Yes, okay, yeah. Because at the end of the day, still like leftist. But yeah, I can't believe she goes, 70% of Twitter is Russian bots. And she was holding it back. Like, she looked at me like 3-4 times. Like, she went somewhere to do something. She was like... 70% Twitter Russian bots. Just, no, I'll let you know. Charles Nichols says, Americans are involved for all the wrong reasons. Meanwhile, everyone watches clips on TikTok. Yep. That's right. Clips on TikTok. That's a bunch of sinners too, isn't it, TikTok? Not really. Not any worse sinning than Americans, by the way. Sorry. See, that's what I mean. This is the place. That's the righteousness of our rips, is that we're never gonna, you can't go partisan hackery. You have to always recognize that we are all one. You know what I mean? So whenever someone starts saying, this person's too evil, like with Gaddafi, like Omar, you said rest in peace Gaddafi, like, I can't believe how many people I know, because they love Democrats, they're like bought into that shit, that like even talk about murdering Gaddafi and how it destroyed the Middle East, destabilized whatever. And there are some people that are like, well, he was evil. What, do you want that guy to be alive? And it's like, you don't do that. Don't do that. You know these Americans put these maniacs in power. And then people act like, well, even Saddam Hussein, my buddy was saying, I can't believe this guy. But you know people get conservative as they get older? I swear to God, when you were younger, this guy was against the Iraq war. Everyone's against the Iraq war. Tucker Carlson even put up a thing. But my buddy, so corporate, that I brought up something about Iraq, and he was like, well, Saddam needed to go. I can't believe these people. You know what I'm saying? Applejack59 says, sorry, my alarm clock didn't go off. I'm awake. Yo, Applejack, I was actually going to message you. I felt bad because I started. And then I was like, wait, I should tell Applejack that I don't really know how to bring on a guest, though. Because I'm no longer in StreamYard. That is one of the benefits of the StreamYard, to be honest. That's what I was thinking about after I deleted it yesterday. But I'll figure it out. We got to figure it out. Listen, we got new graphics coming and we got new music coming. This show is going to go to another level. And I wanted you all to be a part of it. Be here behind the scenes, see as it grows. You know what I'm saying? So that it's accessible. Prince! Babaji ignored my comment. I canceled Babaji. My prince! Babaji, isn't everyone a sinner? Isn't everyone... Babaji, doesn't everyone is a sinner? Prince, my prince. Babaji, have good relation with your relative in India. If West goes down, you can at least return to India. Yes, my prince, my prince. Princess read comments. That's so cute. Prince. Just cool it. Read above comment. Dude, Prince is such a like... You know why I'm giving him an Indian accent? Prince reminds me of when I was in school in India and people were like, sir, please, sir, please, sir, please, I have something. Sir, please, sir, please. Sir, please. Prince, Babaji have a good relation with all ants in India. If West goes down, all ants. Why the ants? You know why? Because the ants get you the pussy. The ants are the ones that are thinking about like, you married? You married? You married? You married? You not married? Okay, how old? Okay, you're making this one? Okay, turn it. Okay, 2 girls in this town and 1 girl here, and you go see them, and everything's set. There's only aunties do that because they care about the culture and they care about seeing you. They want to get you, you know. They want to get you fucking. I remember my aunt was over, my cousin was over, but she's aunt age. She's like in her 60s. And she was over, and I was talking about like side businesses. I'm thinking about like microgreens, just growing greens in the house. But even like buying a laundromat. I got into like I went a deep dive on like YouTube, like how to make money, you know, good, like honest businesses, make money, whatever. And they were talking about laundromats, they were talking about like storage units, microgreen business. Anyway, I'm talking to her about some businesses. And then I was like, you know, I'm thinking about a laundromat. And she goes, you make laundromat near the university, then you have girlfriend, stupid. So laundromat near the university, then you have girlfriend at the same time. It's like yelling, dude. Is that too loud, by the way? Into the mic? Prince. Hilarious. Sir, please read above comment. Babaji ignored my comment. I canceled Babaji. Babaji, doesn't everyone is a sinner? That's so cute. Doesn't everyone is a sinner? That sounds so... it also sounds Indian, right? It's fine. Prince, where are you from, dude? You gotta tell us where you're from now. Prince is gone. Dude, 100% from India. You know what it reminds me of is like I remember I get sometimes I get these hustle memes. I gotta show you guys the worst hustle meme I saw. This is I sent it to no. I gotta show you this hustle meme page. It's so good. Hold on, where is it? Oh, here. Oh, it's right here. No, I do this. I do this. I do this. This is it. It's good. It says remove sex. Remove sex. Aim for trillions. This, I was like, I sent to my buddy. I'm like, this is 100% from India. Aim for trillions? It says California, USA, but that's just the location they tagged. 100% brown. And you know what? I'm glad they actually used a brown girl in the video, because that's equal opportunity. They didn't just get a picture of some white, Scarlett Johansson. Because they could have just got Scarlett Johansson freeze frame, like playing a stripper, and been like, remove sex from a relationship and you will discover that most people have nothing to offer you. Oh, okay. This is motivational quotes. What's the motivation? It's aim for trillions. But still, it's like, I'm not seeing the money. I'm not seeing the money, how we make the money on this. Can someone tell me if in the comments? Let me know in the comments if you guys are like, a little bit like, hold on. Okay, so Prince says, Babaji, I am everywhere. 4K. Bro, this is why promiscuity is bad. Babaji committing sins after 1 a.m. Kai first, kinda true. Is it kinda true? Who are we to decide that Gaddafi is bad? Save intel that was saying, okay, Applejack, we're going to get to politics in a second. Nichama, as an auntie myself, I can say we truly want what's best for you. Right? Nichama knows. And they care too. The aunties care. Smooth operators searching how to make money is how you get into MLMs. Aim for trillions. Remove sex. This is a guy named Randall. So this guy has a fake account. He's a Toronto comic. But he has a fake account where he plays like a con artist. It's called Randall Walsh. And his account is actually called Randall Walsh Enterprises. It's so funny. But I fucking sent him one. Look, it says post unavailable. Dude, I sent him the best one. It was like a rich people do, poor people do. And it was like poor people. One of the ones was like, poor people get screwed by inflation. Rich people profit from inflation. Okay, I gotta find it. Oh my god. I do have a lot of dance channels because I do want to start dancing more. Can you guys see this? This is my Instagram. You'll notice that like I'm not just putting booties on here. I clean out booties all the time. Anyone, if I'm following them, they're not following me, gone. All kinds of stuff. Like, I'm cleaning up right now. But I'll keep dance videos like this because this is sick, dude. Are you kidding me? Kind of matches our music. This is amazing. The thing is, I can do this. Like, it's not a big deal for me to do this dance. I can do this. Shirtless. And I have some jiggles, especially right now. I'm a little jiggly right now. I could do this. It's not a bad idea for a publicity stunt. Get some people out here. You know what I'm saying? So sick, dude. That's amazing. What an inspiration. Okay, it's not here. God damn it. It's so funny. It was like what rich people do versus poor people do. It's such a silly bit. But one of them was like, poor people lose everything because of inflation, and it had a picture of a guy crying, and then on the other side it said rich people profit from inflation, and it had a picture of Jeff Bezos, just like killed it. That's too bad. This video was great. This dance is actually fantastic too. This is also a dance I could do. I do that. I can do that. No problem. That I cannot do. What she's doing on the left there at the end, the glidey stuff, can't do the glidey stuff. But in 6 months, I will be able to. Sick, dude. Look out for more dancing channels coming. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. A lot of stuff to talk about here, people. A lot of stuff. I'm not done with Africa right now. I'm not done with Africa. Omar Sabur says, remember crumping. I do remember it, and I remember this silly documentary I saw where I was like, okay, why is this on still? Oh, here we go. Okay, let's go to this. Let's go to this controversy. And I want to get your ideas on this. I want to get your thoughts on this. Did Macron remove the watch, people? This is interesting. And at a time when he came in and did a sneak move to raise the retirement age. Like the French government was trying to raise the retirement age for like 10, 20 years. Couldn't do it. This sneaky bastard comes in, fucking sneaks it in. Kind of like a Hindu nationalist government did with the farming protests. That's, you know, it is what it is. But let's play it. Tell me what you guys think.
Ni les factieux, ni les factions dans la République. Et il y a les blocages, et les blocages, il faut pouvoir les lever quand ils empêchent l'activité normale.
Okay, now he's pulling an old sneak under the table.
Nous avons pu faire sur les ordures ménagères, par exemple, dans certaines grandes villes, ou sur les raffineries, à chaque fois qu'il faut le faire, ça a commencé, et ce sera fait pour qu'il n'y ait pas de blocage. Souvent, ce sont très peu de gens, d'ailleurs. Je prends un engagement pour ce qui dépend de moi, je suis un peu stoïcien en la matière. Donc, je pense qu'il faut qu'il y ait un chemin qui soit maintenant trouvé, et qu'on se remette autour de la table.
Wow. Let's do Bordeaux Town Hall goes up in flames. Because these guys fucking rip, dude. We look like pussies. You know, for a while, the culture was starting to brainwash me a little too. Where I was like, yeah, you know what? The Black Lives Matter, maybe they did go too far. Because some windows got broken. A couple of windows got broken. A couple of cop cars on fire. You know, that Black Lives Matter, maybe they are a little bit too much. That's what I thought. That's what I was really thinking. The culture was starting to brainwash me into thinking that. Then I see this, and I said, of course, God is great. We're here to rip, people. This life is supposed to be a goddamn revolution. We're not supposed to be sitting around like fucking pussies, god damn it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. They're ripping like the Black Lives Matter protests. We're talking about a grocery store, you know what I mean? In the hood. Or sometimes it was like a CNN building. Like sometimes they did that. These guys are going after like, this is the Bordeaux Town Hall. Look at how beautiful this building is. That's the problem with France, is that the whole thing's built by slaves. You go to Paris and you're like, wow, it's beautiful. It's covered in gold. It's like big, everything's beautiful, big, bold, sexy design. And you're like, oh yeah, it's the slaves. It's 100% slaves. And they still live off of it. And that's where I want to end today's clip. But I did want to go into what rippers these guys are. They're saying Vive la France too. That's amazing. Wow. Like, you know, everything, like, look at, it's basically a museum. Like, the place is so goddamn rich, France, that everything you, like, I remember I was just walking down the street in France, like down the rich area, and I met girls there, and I'm like, oh, so where do you live? And I'm like, oh, so I'm here. Oh, I'm just here upstairs, staying and boating, whatever. And I'm like, you're a broke ass student doing your second degree in some fucking French arts thing, or some like international relations on whatever, politique internationale, some whatever. and she points at this building, like, yeah, I'm just staying here. Like, she's broke. This girl is broke. So, yes, I'm only staying here. She points at like a museum. The whole facade, when you go to downtown France, the whole goddamn place is like this. So even when you're burning a town hall, this is Bordeaux Town Hall. You're basically burning up a museum. Same thing if you go to, like, this is how much money they stole out of Africa, though. And India. This is how much. This is why these maniacs are all trying to murder. They like, this is why people are like, when conservatives say, like, oh, stop talking about the past, it's over, don't talk about it. It's like, you almost have to if you want to fix it. Or else it's always going to be like, huh, where did this come from? What are they mad about? It's crazy. Just admit it. The uproar over the reforms has turned into the biggest domestic crisis in Macron's second term. Dude, 62 to 64. You know what really is makes us look like such goddamn pussies? Is that, like, Canada's at 65. In the US, they went up to 67. And it just passed, not a protest, no protest. First of all, like, the young people don't care about old people here like that. I think in Europe, they know that one day we'll be old too, so they're out there. But I think here, we almost have an adversarial relationship with the old people. Like, we're looking like, these old people, it's like, no, we're going to be old one day. But like, these old people are taking too much money, and they vote, so they get whatever the hell they want. They're really setting it up for you and me. They're setting shit up for us, because when we get old, the laws are going to be in our favor, and we're going to get some. It's almost like seniority passes. They just go like, just for age, just for lasting this long, we're going to give you $800 a month. Just don't worry about it. The kids will pay for it. That's basically what all these social security plans and all this shit is. But it's what losers. The Americans, it's all, they act like so tough guys. They're tough. They have guns. They have this and that. Where's the protest? Set something on fire. What's the point of the goddamn guns then? He didn't even go, pussy. He's a pussy too. Fucking go, you puss. I can't believe this King Charles. He goes, I was going to come, but God forbid there's a revolution. I'll have to wait. Go be with the people. Then you'll be worth something. Then people will respect you, you idiot. This guy's, well, it's not right to go at this moment, is it? Dangerous.
From this
holy shit, dude. 62 to 64. Fuck yeah! They're going crazy. We look like idiots.
Protesters and the police have become a regular scene of Parisian life, with beans burning and tear gas reminding of the student revolution of May 1968. Even in the southwest city of Bordeaux, the gate of City Hall was set on fire.
Dude, that gate, see, like that gate of City Hall, that's probably like worth $1 billion. Artistically and everything, they just said, fuck it! 64? 64? Fuck it!
Meanwhile, the garbage has accumulated in the French capital.
I love how in France, too, everyone's on board. And like, in Canada, in America, anything goes wrong, and you'll just get a bunch of Indian people on the news being like, this a protester, oh, black people protesting, they break it, everything, my business. The Asians just want to do business. They don't care. But in France, because they're xenophobic, they kept that shit out. And even if you ask the person whose life is directly hurt by this, because this stinks, by the way. This stinks, and it sucks. And like, I bet you could stop someone who has to walk through it every day, and they're like, are you mad that the garbage piled up? It's like, no, we have to fight back. Vive la revolution. We have to fight back. We have to attack the government. Like, they won't just sell each other out the way we do. But then I did hear an interesting thing where this whole protest, they raised the age from 62 to 64 for everyone except for the cops and the firefighters. So now the cops and the firefighters are cracking down, dude. Because they're like, we took care of you. You don't have to go to 64. And then everyone else does. So it's going to create maybe some division. That's
it's a very different image from the dynamic modern France promoted by Emmanuel Macron when he was first elected in 2017. The 45-year-old former banker wants to raise the minimum retirement age from 62 to 64. Most French are opposed to this, giving Macron two major problems. Problem number one, critics say he's touching the very heart of the French way of life and social model. Problem number two, his method. Lacking a parliamentary majority, the government used a decree to force the reform through without a vote. That has angered millions.
It's like silly to us. As a Patel, like, I gotta admit that there is a part of me that says that, like, whenever protests happen here, I'm always like, I'm just gonna do my podcast, or I'm just gonna finish my writing work. Like, no, protest is good, but can't make it. I gotta go to more protests, and that's why I suffer. That's my lack of righteousness. Because I bet if I went to the protest, you'd meet a bunch of people, you get them fucking sick footage for a podcast, and it would be goddamn incredible. And I could be out revolutionarily, like, we have to fight back. We have to fight back. Like, you know what I mean? I could be out there on the streets with a megaphone getting buck. But the lack of righteousness says, no, I don't have time. I have to do meditation. So you don't go. It's like, go to the fucking protest.
Of French people. Macron's popularity has fallen to the lowest in 4 years.
They put him in front of the garbage. That's really, okay, Bloomberg television. I think it's a little biased because this is some unconscious manipulation here.
Protests by the so-called Yellow Vests against fuel taxes blighted his first term. Now the deep opposition to his pension overhaul could threaten the remaining 4 years of his reform agenda and leave the door open for the National Rally candidate Marine Le Pen.
Wow, so he's like the liberal too. That's the problem with these goddamn new liberals. They're only liberal when it comes to like social justice shit, but then they're actually more crazy about other stuff. So like this, it's like this is something that a conservative should be doing. But yeah, he's a weirdo. He's there's issues there. Let me just show you something actually. Here we go. No. Hold on. Here we go. Cher Core is here. What's up, Cher? How you doing? How you doing there? Applejack is here. Bobcat Bromish, what happened to the peace activism? Excuse me, Bobcat? What is this? They strike against companies very effectively quite often. I think it's all a show, though. They have their grievances, but does anything really even change? Protesting is bad for your health. Omar and Bobcat, I almost feel like, are coming in hard against protesting here. I don't even know. Kai first, ungrateful. They should all spend cents. They should be shipped and sent to America. Enjoy pay healthcare. Enjoy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You know, that's where it does feel like, are the Frenchies just a bunch of brats? A little bit, right? It's like you're protesting over this. But here's the thing, you're protesting over this, and this is the dichotomy of left wing, just not left wing, but like Europe in general, is that they're so progressive in some ways. I guess they're what the Democrats are becoming. Like, they're progressive in these social justice ways, but then in very real, like, owning slaves, neocolonialism in Africa, really bad ways, Europeans are also very, like, racist too, right? Or, like, not, you know what I mean? Like, they're progressive in ways that help them. They have the healthcare, they have the thing, they do have the stuff that's, like, nice for me. But then outside, like, France is just doing neocolonialism in Africa. And I'm going to show you one clip right now of this African guy yelling at Macron. I think it's great. The more people join the protest, the more businesses doesn't get to continue. The more the economy hurts, brings government to make change. Protest does have a meaning. True, but Applejack, are these Frenchies a bunch of spoiled little brats, though? Because I do see that in the comments, and that is an interesting point. And then the last thing I want to bring up with you guys about this French topic before we move along here is, here, let me show you this. This is fucked up, this video. Can you guys see this? God damn it. There we go.
Okay, let's see it.
Ça aussi,
From
ça doit
African
changer
Insider.
dans la manière de coopérer avec la France et l'Europe. Regardez-nous autrement, en nous respectant, en nous considérant comme de vrais partenaires, et non pas toujours avec un regard paternaliste, avec l'idée de toujours savoir ce qu'il faut pour nous, et non pas pour...
That's nice, right there to his face.
Si le président Tshisekedi m'y autorise, je voudrais apporter un commentaire au commentaire. Je m'explique. Parce que le président a parlé de la France en répondant à la question. Quand un ou une journaliste française pose une question, ça n'est pas le gouvernement de la France. Et c'est bien comme ça. Mais il ne faut pas tout confondre.
Non,
Parce que, non, mais c'est pas une position de la France.
je faisais allusion...
Parce qu'il n'y a pas de, il y a plus, il y en a eu.
Je faisais allusion au propos de Le Drian. Lui, il est officiel français.
Oui, mais
le compromis à
il peut
l'africaine, c'est Le Drian, c'est pas la journaliste.
C'est exact, mais ce compromis... Mais...
Wow. You know what this is? Macron is a lifelong politician. And Macron, he's used to, because in the West, there's this thing of Trudeau does this too, like where you'll ask him a hard question and he'll be like, well, that's why I think it's important that we protect trans rights and women's rights, and we are committed to helping women be in 50% of the thing, and that's what we're doing right now, and I appreciate your question, thank you. And they just walk, but it's like, no, I asked you why you gave $300,000 to your mom. You know what I mean? Like, apparently Trudeau gave $300K to his mom through some charity, right? It was actually he has 3 ethics violations right now. Trudeau, I know. You know what it is? This is late capitalism. This is what happens when you have like bumbling rich kid idiots running your country. Like, I don't even think Trudeau's more corrupt than anyone else, but I do think he's a dumb rich kid, pretty boy rich kid. He's too pretty too. So you got the rich kid and you got that level of prettiness. His brain is not developed. A man's brain developed cannot. Because really the tactics come in when trying to get laid, which he's 6'3", looks like he's a model, and his dad was the greatest president in the world, or like in prime minister in Canadian history. So his brain's not developing there. You need that. If you're fucking too easy, I don't know, man. Like all the guys I know that get laid too easy, their mind become eroten, they either go degenerate crazy because they're getting the best thing too easily. So then they're just like, it's boring now. I got to do cocaine. You know what I mean? Like that, I've seen that happen. And then in the other direction, I've seen them get their fill of having sex with hot girls. And then they almost become celibate. They just go like, I don't have time for this. I have had my share. You know what I mean? So Trudeau has 3 ethics violations. Why was I talking about that? The point is that he does the same deflection where it's like, you say something fake, and then he's like, and so Macron is like, let me speak. If a journalist attacks me or if a journalist attacks you, it is fine because we can fight back. And then this guy goes, yeah, I didn't say journalist. So that's beautiful. Let's keep it going.
Cette formule, président.
So from that video, I think the message is self-explanatory, and it has been making headlines all over social media, TikTok, Twitter. And from what people are saying is that the president of Congo shut down Macron at a press conference in Kinshasa when the French president tried to deflect from a statement that had been made by the Congolese president. And according to what the Congolese president had said was that France and the West, countries in the West, Europe and others, they should, they should abandon their imperious attitude towards Africa. They should stop acting.
100%. 100%. I'm with it. I'm with that. But I did want to show you guys something.
For centuries, France was a global powerhouse, permeating its...
This is it.
France Afrique, literally meaning France in Africa melded into one term, refers to France's powerful, inseparable synergy with its former empire in the African continent. It revolves around political and economic patronage, as well as military cooperation. For decades, the doctrine allowed the French to maintain their grip on Africa, affecting its former colonies to the nucleus, while being invisible to the naked eye. I'm your host Shirvan, and welcome to Caspian Report.
I'm your host Shirvan,
Power
and welcome.
Doesn't corrupt. Rather, power inevitably attracts the corrupted. As African colonies declared political independence and...
He's so wise. What a great... This guy's so good, man. I can't believe I haven't liked this video. This guy's amazing. He's a poet. They say power corrupts, but not so much as power attracts the corrupted.
Affecting its former colonies to the nucleus, while being invisible to the naked eye. I'm your host Shirvan, and welcome to Caspian Report. Power doesn't corrupt. Rather, power inevitably attracts the corrupted. As African colonies declared political independence and broke away from their European overlords, the experience of French and British colonies were thoroughly different. Many of the British colonies gained independence through violence and thereby severed ties with London. Most of the French colonies, however, detached through non-violent ways but retained deep-running links with Paris. More precisely, in the 1960s, just before conceding to the African demands for independence, French leaders of the day, most notably Charles de Gaulle, believed that to fulfill France's long-term geopolitical needs, they needed to preserve the privileged political energy and trade arrangement with the former French Empire. In other words, a system of cooperation and compliance was necessary to ensure France's grip on Africa. As such, de Gaulle's administration crafted the CFA franc monetary system.
Why do I bring this up? I'll tell you why I bring it up. And I do agree, I'm with the protesting. But at the same time, I'm just like, are you guys brats? Like, a bunch of people said this in the comments. I think Omar said this. It's like, hey, you have healthcare. You got to go 62 to 64. You got to let it. Sometimes you got to be like, listen. But the protesters have a point. The protesters always stand strong on no, they're giving money to their corporations. Why should the people suffer?
System, with the CFA being...
My issue, though, is that there's going to be a line in here. It might be at the end, but it's only 11 minutes. It's fine. We'll watch it. This video is so fucking tight. This is honestly rip of the week. This guy does, I know it's poetic and he's not yelling and whatever, but this is a powerful rip. And it's righteous. It is righteous. It scares me, the righteousness. It's crazy how they're so progressive and they're so ready to fight for one thing, but your government is still ruling Africa through currency. Let's continue.
The French acronym for French Colonies of Africa. The bargain gave the 14 newly independent French African colonies a stable and robust currency, but it also legally obliged them to put 50% of their foreign currency reserves into the French treasury.
Come on.
Plus another 20% for financial liabilities. That means that the member states of the franc monetary zone only retained entry to 30% of their money, with the currency being printed under the supervision of the French National Bank.
Come on, dude. Of course. And then Macron goes over to talk about some bridge or whatever, and they're like, hey, are you going to talk about how you don't fucking give us our fucking money? Are you going to talk? Oh, no. I'm just here to talk about the bridge, and we will finish this conversation, and we will go to France loves the partnership with you people, and we love you too much, and we will talk to the next. That's what.
The settlement made sure that France's grip on Africa did not cease with the declaration of political independence. Even worse, if the 14 African states wanted to gain access to their own funds, they had to borrow it from the French at fixed commercial rates. This is what happened during the 2008 financial crash, when the CFA franc members could not obtain credit because their reserves were held in the name of France. The situation...
Come on, dude. Like, these guys are going through the same problem that a broke-ass fucking... Like, some guy's trying to start up a business here, and they're like, hey, I need a loan for my business. And then the company's like, well, all your wealth is in your wife's name, so we actually can't give you the loan. It's like, no, but this is happening to a country where, like, well, the money is technically France. Your money is actually not your money. It's France's money. So we can't actually give you a loan. We'd have to give them the loan. Fucking France, dude. Oh, we are so polite. We are so decent. They started fucking Vietnam War too. These pieces of shit. They started the Vietnam War. Can you believe them? And they didn't even they didn't even do it. The Vietnam War was because these jackasses, the fucking Frenchies, they didn't want to leave Vietnam. And then Americans came in, and then it became a communist thing. And then I think the French, and then like once the Americans came in and really started fighting, I think the French just were like, okay, well, we're over it. Okay, we will leave. We will honor the independence of Vietnam. We honor you, and you can leave now. Like they just started the Vietnam War, and then just said, okay, guys, figure it out. I guess you guys are really pissed off at each other, so you can have it. Kind of over it. Kind of over Vietnam right now, because you guys are fucking fighting all the time. So see you later. Like that's what the French did there, and then here, they just run the current.
With France extending credit to its former colonies by using their own wealth. Furthermore, immediately after creation, the CFA franc financial system was split into currencies. The West African CFA franc was designated to 8 West African countries: Mali, Niger, Senegal, Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso, Guinea-Bissau, and the Ivory Coast. Meanwhile, the Central African CFA franc was assigned to the 6 Central African countries: Cameroon, Chad, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, the Republic of Congo, and the Central African Republic. In truth, both currencies remained effectively interchangeable since they were guaranteed by the French treasury. This arrangement, which has been the case since the 1960s,
just by making East and West, they probably hired like another 600 people in France to be like, we are the East currency, and we are like, it's probably like 2 different buildings. Like what? Why? So, like you're gonna colonize, like you're gonna do this colonization shit. Like just be efficient. You know what I mean? Like that was the one argument that the Brits had in India, where they were like, look at them. We give them minute. Even my cousin, I told you guys a story before, but like my cousin runs a water treatment plant, and at one time someone brought up colonialism. He's like, why you complain about colonialism? No, without a British, we have no management. He basically was telling me that the Brits knew how to manage India, and we didn't know how to manage it. Look at us. That's what he's saying. Dude, the guy runs 2 water treatment plants. And the government is begging him to take a 3rd one in Canada. Doesn't matter. This, like, you're going to run the currency, right? Be efficient. Be efficient. Let's take a quick break and talk to people about this. What do the people say? Here we go. CEB Applejack says, oh, wow, you guys are still fighting about the protesting. Interesting. Okay, cool. Christian Smalls lead Amazon to change policies through protests. Yeah, no, Omar, you're not like a protest, never protest guy, are you? Or are you just like, these Frenchies are a bunch of spoiled babies? And like, hey, where's the protest on this franc zone, quite frankly? Can you care about that a little bit and not only care about, your retirement age going up? So that's kind of more my thing. But I do agree, CEB Applejack, protesting is not for everyone, but protests are necessary. Honestly, Applejack, like, here's the thing. For protests to work, they should be about everyone. And I think there's a big disservice done in the culture where for someone like me as a Patel, right? I was raised basically taught that like, it's a protest, no profit, no money. Why you go protest? Stupid. It's black people going. Dumb. That's why they have no money. That's kind of where I was growing. When I was growing up, people would say like I had uncles that would be like, it's a black people, there's a terrorist. They're too lazy, don't want to work. Oh, fighting. Oh, give me money. Stupid. Like that's like just the general attitude towards protesters too. Then they'll still even rip like, oh, this is so white people live paycheck to paycheck. Then they say government give me money. So lazy, stupid. Sorry, I gotta check my phone. My mom's in the hospital. Okay, cool. Finian Lobar. Wow, Finian Lobar. Maybe that's now the most righteous name. Because Fausto hasn't said a word, but Finian Lobar. One of the main reasons tribals had... tribals or tribes? Finian. Had so much trouble with Westerners because they did not understand that it was not the ritualized warfare they practice. Was same for most Native American tribes. Goal is never to butcher your enemy like it is in the West. Applejack. I agree that everyone should protest for their rights, but you will never get everyone to agree on one cause. That is a problem too. Yeah, you got... Okay. Yeah, not everyone should go to every protest, but everyone should have a sense of like I do appreciate the French sense of like, we will fight back. Let's go, brother. We have to fight back, brother. I don't know why I'm giving him like a more of an Arab accent, but you can see that there. You can see like, I was trying to do a bit about like a reluctant revolutionary, and the character was always from like Syria and then lived in France. You know what I mean? And it's like the kind of guy who like, he's a reluctant revolutionary. So basically you have to ask him 3 times. And the first time you ask, he says, no, government is good. The first time you say, hey, Khalid, we got to protest. We got to fight back, man. They're taking it too far. The government's taking it too far. We have to fight back. And Khalid, first time, says, peace is gift from God, brother. Peace is gift from God. And then second time you say it, Khalid, we got to fight back, man. They took it too far this time. And Khalid says, government is good, brother. Why you complain? Why you complain on government? Work hard. Don't make a complaint and do like this. Then third time the guy comes back, Khalid, they went too far. And he goes, let's go, brother. We have to fight back. Let's go, brother. I kill everyone. I don't care. Okay, I'm in window. Let's go. I don't care. 3 times. And that's it. Ready for a rip. So I guess the standard should be like if something makes your heart sing, you should go for a rip on it. Omar Sabir, education better than protesting. Omar Sabir making a little protest right there with $2 donation. Thank you. And saying, hey, this is important. Education better than protesting. Omar, you have a very Patel view on it, and I get it. I was grown up with that. But Omar, at what point and how do you let the government know that they need to back it up? By the way, is that peaking the audio? Let me know if that's peaking the audio. But how do you let the government know that it's time to back it up, guys? You have no right to do this. You know what I'm saying? And some say those fighting to assist Ukraine is stupid, but not everyone is about Ukraine, and you tend to like to push everything towards Ukraine. What? Man, it's crazy how like the comment section starts getting little beefs. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to the video. I think we've seen enough. I think we've done great karmas here, though. Mr. Chess is here. Oh, that's probably who Applejack's talking about. Mr. Chess is... We know Mr. Chess. We know what he's going to say. Let's finish this video. Great video, by the way. This Caspian is righteous. And don't you goddamn say that he isn't. You know he is. And this video is fucking tight. Well, let's see a little more.
Proved to be a significant boost for French banks and the state, but it deprived the African countries of their wealth and growth. The system of servitude was best captured by former French President Jacques Chirac, who said that we have to be honest and acknowledge that a big part of the money in our banks comes precisely from the exploitation of the African continent. In 2008, he went on to say, without Africa, France would slide down into the rank of a third world power.
Wow. This guy's righteous, right? That's righteousness right there. I don't think we need to finish, actually. I thought this clip was going to be at the end, but it's right there, so that's fine. I'm happy with that. And I do now want to go back to the comments, but I do want to figure out a way to keep the comments up and keep the quote up. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. Hold on. I got it. No, wrong clip there. There we go. That's it. Now, what we do is we do this and talk amongst yourselves, but no fighting, people. Make sure there's no fights going on in there. But a spirited debate, I do like that. Finian Lober, Mr. Chess Profits. One currency is scary. Hold on. I'm going to figure this out now. No. Remove. Yes. Let me play some music for the community. That's what the community needs. By the way, this is going to be the new direction of the show. This kind of synthwave, and then I want to get those colors. Those like different, it's called Synth Runner. My new graphics package that I got for the OBS, it's called Synth Runner. Very excited. There's a heated debate going on in the comment section. I'm gonna get right in there in a second. Hold on a second. Window capture. Here we go. This is permanent now. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, let's go top bottom. That's what we're gonna do. No. There we go. And there we go. That's nice. Now I can literally read the comment. Right there. Mr. Chess, the UN should ban it and forcibly remove Russia from Security Council. Mr. Chess has been coming in with a hardline attitude on Russia. And look, I do have to concede. Mr. Chess, did you hear my story about how I ran into a Russian? Oh, you did hear it. I told you yesterday. You know what? I have to concede that, like, here's where I'm at. This is where because talking to that girl made me have to think about it. With Ukraine, Russia. Here's where I'm at. Here's a concession point that I'm willing to give you on the other side, Mr. Chess. And that would be, if in the next 6 months we somehow take out Putin, maybe worth it. Maybe worth it. Problem is, I don't think we're going to be able to do that. I don't see it. I see it as a long, drawn-out war that's going to destroy the Ukraine. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. You know, obviously Putin's evil. Obviously Russia is wrong on this. But the people in Russia are just being forced into it. Sanctions aren't working. BRICS we saw the BRICS video. Their goddamn thing, and Applejack, you sent me this yesterday. The BRICS GDP is passing the Western GDP. Because the Western mind is rotten, brother. You know what I'm saying? So, Palwinder Singh, sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. Palwinder Singh. No. Here we go. Wow. One currency in the world won't ever happen. Well, until we have no borders, that is. Finian Lobar. Humans were born to be communal. We grew up as communal species. We survived in family groups. Finian, yes. Finian, how do you feel about protesting? Do you not feel like protesting is a nice familial event? Like, when I hear people say that they take their kids to a protest, I do respect that. I'm like, that's good. You're teaching them something. You know what I mean? You're teaching them that, like, sometimes it's good to stand with our brothers and sisters in the community, in the culture, and say, I will say something for my people. For these, my friend people. Or my own people. Mr. Chess says Putin won't be taken out. Mr. Chess, then what is this support? Like, what is your end game here, Mr. Chess? Because I don't see how America could defeat Russia in the Ukraine. I just don't see how they're going to pull this off. And I don't like that they're blocking the peace negotiations that are being pushed by China. Mr. Chess, so UK should solve Israel, Palestine, whole world should be helping Ukraine, and everyone who is not should be removed from US aid and have sanctions put on them. There should be protests to solve Israel. Wow. And also, whole world should only have one currency. Okay, well, Mr. Chess, going off the deep end. Bobcat says Finian is right. Yeah, I'm more on Finian. Finian had the right line there. I don't know. I just read a bunch of stuff from Mr. Chess and it sounds a little kooky, brother. Leper Abbott. I feel like protesting is respectable and the only option for people who don't have the wealth. That's the thing, Leper. Mr. Abbott. Huey, glory be, Babaji, hello. Hi, Huey. Listen, quick note. You've good karma. You haven't done anything wrong. But it's actually Master Shri Babaji now. So if you could rewrite that as glory be to Master Shri Babaji, hello, that would be great. That would be accurate. Omar Sabir, NATO expanded its borders. It's a done deal. Omar coming in with the rips. Well, Omar, but then couldn't you say that Russia was also always kind of untrustable? It does seem like after World War II, the Americans and the Russians should have had an equal relationship. The Americans treated them like shit, even though they kind of defeated the Nazis. And this is all kind of that trauma playing out a little bit. I do feel like that. Even the fact that they have a dictator, I think it goes back to that. They have a dictator because NATO's there, but it's just this back and forth, this trauma back and forth where you got to go, who started? You can't find a who started. You have to only come back to loving kindness. You have to only come back to love, and we are all one. That's the only way to end these conflicts, people. Because if you talk about because it is just an escalation. And one side always wants to demonize the other side as pure evil, and we're righteous and they're evil. But, and again, I'm not actually saying the Ukraine is righteous in all this. But Putin is not righteous, and the American warmongering war machine, they are also not righteous. And that's it. And neither is these Frenchies too. Basically colonizing Africa. Finian Lobar says, we have monopoly on slavery now. More slavery now than at any point in human history. Really, Finian? I have heard that somewhere. Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. Well, when you got these Frenchies here that won't let go of their goddamn empire, what are you going to get? What are you going to get? One last clip on this Africa thing. This is interesting. I talked about this like last week. Let me see what you guys see here. Okay. Okay, let's put this here. No, let's put me here. Wow, thanks for coming in, everyone. This is great. This is actually great that we're figuring this out as a community. That's what we need. And then this one can go here on top of my head. Stupid. My dum-dum. There we go, and there we go. Look at that. Comment section popping. So that way the audience is always honored in our, and unlike these other pundits on YouTube who are not certified pundits like me, and it is Master Shri now. I didn't see that correction. I didn't see the correction. It is Master Shri Babaji now. So thank you for coming in, everyone. I appreciate you. Bobcat, Finian, Mr. Chess, Omar, doing great karmas, leaving good comments. Let's take a look at the righteousness of one last clip. And let me set it up real quick for you guys. So a couple weeks ago, the International Criminal Court put out a statement saying, Mr. Putin, you have committed war crimes. And you will show up in The Hague immediately. Your traveling expenses will not be covered, and you will come in for arrest. You have been indicted in a crime, and we will report to the International Criminal Court immediately for your trial. Thank you, Mr. Putin. And he didn't show up, obviously, and this is basically just creating another rift. This peace organization, this International Criminal Court, which is supposed to go after people committing war crimes and shit like that, they've now become, because they can't touch any of the white countries, what I've heard is that the only war criminals they can get their hands on are African. And then a lot of times they're not actually war criminals, they're just someone who's trying to, I don't know, like overthrow the franc zone currency and try to set up their own currency in a country like Gaddafi was doing. They try to set up their own currency. The International Criminal Court might be like, oh, that's terrorist, so we got to go get them. You're under arrest. So if you're going to throw those in there, if the only people you can arrest are black, what is your righteousness? It is nothing. You are just a hollow organization, and what your words are meaningless. And I hate to break it to you, but I don't think Putin's gonna show up. But let's watch this clip real quick. This guy apparently does powerful rips. We're gonna have to be reviewing this guy more often, because last time we reviewed 2 Irish people rip of the week. This guy has some rips of the week, and I'll look into them this week and we'll watch them, because his rips are righteous and they will raise our vibration. Let's watch a little bit of this though.
We don't want ICC's hypocrisy to apply here.
International Criminal Court.
In our country. President Putin is welcomed. We know our friends. We know the people who liberated us. We know the people who supported us. In Kutokonaval, the weapons that were used in Kutokonaval that led to the liberation of South Africa were coming from Russia.
Coming from Russia. Dude, they're... African politics, it is so angry. It's basically like the richest people on the planet are being treated like the bottom civilization by all international rules, ICC, everything. Just from colonization, just from franc zone bullshit. They're being treated like... And you know what's crazy is that India, when they treat India like a second, like you're not really here, India kind of says, okay, Babaji, you are number one. Okay, baby, thank you. Because that's basically India's relationship with the US, is like the US gives them nothing, but if they ever ask for anything, India's like, yes, Babaji, okay, we do for you anything. Yes, you are number one, so I do for you anything. And that's basically what India is right now to the Americans. They're so pussy. They don't have that revolutionary spirit, really. They almost like... I mean, that's why they're the crown jewel, right? During the British Empire, they were the crown jewel. And they would even say that, like, Africa, it's too wild, it's crazy. But India is a nice... They can have civilization one day. They can have it. They can be... And there's the quotes of old British, like, generals being like, India, you know, maybe... Like, this is back, like, in the 1920s, 30s. They would ask, like, a British general, like, do you think India's ready to be independent from England? They're like, oh, no, it would all fall apart. No. Maybe in 1990? Maybe in 1990, India might be ready to have an independent government, but right now, oh, pish posh. The whole place would fall apart. But that's their crown jewel. Africa, they didn't even, like... They just plundered and just ruined it. Like they didn't, it's the crown jewel status. Everyone's suffering from old trauma. You know, it's better to admit it instead of pretending. But let me continue this. This guy's righteous.
Russia supplied us with weapons in Kutokonaval. Cuba supplied us with soldiers. MK was drunk. Cuba brought the soldiers.
Who's MK? Can someone tell me in the comments who's MK? He just said MK was drunk. America?
Yes, MK was drunk.
MK was drunk.
Cuba brought the soldiers. Russia brought the armaments. We were supposed to be the ones that are being complemented and supported by this other.
I mean, Applejack, you know, when your back's against the wall, listen, you know, the thing about war crimes is that I feel like all war is a crime. You know, not to come out again, like, not to be like, you know, it is a little bit like all war, I think, is a crime. All war is war crime. I think all of it's crime. You know what I mean? Like this idea of like, no, we agreed on a place, the time and place, we go there and then we murder each other, then it's fair. But if you do a sneak attack, this is not fair. I don't know, man. Ukraine, because they were attacked, and they didn't need to be attacked right this instant. There could have been more done. Russia attacked. If you're attacking another country, I don't know if you can really accuse them of human rights violations. You can accuse Russia because they started this physical violence heavy. So anyway, I do of course still think like we need a peaceful resolution to this as fast as possible. We got to negotiate even with Putin. I think with the fact that the Chinese did, that's great. But I don't know, the Nazi thing and the war crimes thing, when see, even the Nazis thing, like, doesn't every country have Nazis? Tell me what I'm missing on the Nazi thing, because I've looked into the Nazis in Ukraine thing, and I'm like, yeah, like, they have maybe as much Nazis as everyone, or maybe slightly more because they were in the shit where the Nazis came in, they were there, and like, you know, they're gonna have a little more in Europe. All European countries probably have a little more than Canada or America. But even in the US, there was like a Nazi party that was about to win. Even when Hitler was in power, they were very popular. They were like, they could have won. So, you know what I mean? I do worry, Applejack, sometimes about like being against the war should not be against Ukraine. They're righteous. I do stand by that. I think Ukraine is righteous. Putin is a sinner. And the American warmongers, they're a bunch of goddamn sinners too. Finian Lobar says Nazi thing was like WMD for Iraq. I mean, Finian, they do have Nazis, right? Like, it's not nothing. You know who's doing good coverage of this without being like without trying to make them look worse or anything? Is Unheard. Unheard has a lot of good content on this. And he had a guy on just explaining the whole like Nazis in Ukraine thing. And like there are, but they're, yeah, like you can't say WMD though, because the WMDs were not there at all. Whereas this is a situation where they're there, but they're there in every country. Kind of like the Russiagate stuff, where they're saying that the Russian government is interfering in the election. It's like, yeah, they're trying to. But they try to interfere in every election, and you try to interfere in every election of theirs, and everyone's interfering in everyone's election all over the world. So you just brought this up because you wanted to do whatever. You know what I mean? CB Abba says, it's not a sneak attack. The fact that they put their own civilians in danger on purpose, they make targets out of their schools and churches designed against international law. Applejack, that's interesting. Applejack is more of a hardline, you know, anti-warist, but I do worry that the anti-war people are turning into like, here's all the things that Ukraine did wrong. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's the angle necessarily. But I'm also not the kind of person who's like, oh, you're not allowed to talk about it. Like, there are Nazis. It does seem like just the same amount of Nazis that everyone else has. You know what I'm saying? And then the war crimes. Yeah, they're in a tough spot, dude. You know what I didn't appreciate from Ukraine, actually, is when they shot or like just some bomb went off in Poland and they're like, the Russians did it. That was Russians. And it's like, I think you did that. I think you knocked theirs into there, killed 2 people, so that you could just go on the news today and be like, the Russians attacked Poland, oh my god, everyone's in war. World War III has begun. Like, that's basically, that's so funny that Zelensky, like a Russian missile's coming over, Zelensky shoots it over, 2 people dead, goes straight on TV and says, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Prime Minister of Ukraine and World War III has begun. The Russians fired into Poland. World War III has begun. This automatically triggers all of NATO to be involved. All of NATO includes these countries. They're all involved, and this is now a world war, and you're all involved, and you're all going to come here and kill Russia for us, with us. That was a little quickie, right? Pulvinder Singh says, Pulvinder Singh, if I'm correct, is a Sikh and a warrior. So and the Sikh is a warrior religion. Correct me if I'm wrong, brother. And so let's get Pulvinder Singh's input on this, because as a warrior, the complexities of war, I don't know. See, now we're getting into the fog of war, the complexities of war. You can't move a school hundreds of miles behind front. You can't move a school hundreds of miles behind front lines, but you can navigate missiles away from hospitals. Interesting. Yeah, so it is a little bit like Russia's. Yeah, I don't know. Because even in Palestine, like, the Israelis always accuse the Palestinians of like putting their, like, hiding amongst like hospitals or whatever, and it's like, what the fuck are they gonna do, man? You're beating the shit out of them. You know what I'm saying? Let's finish this video because this guy's righteous, and then I'll come back to just comments. I'll just come back to just you guys, okay, babies? And we're gonna call it a day.
The countries were found wanting.
That's it.
We know the people who supported us. It want ICC's hypocrisy to apply here.
ICC's hypocrisy. Dude, I like... No, man, you can... Like, Africa's pissed. Africa's like, we have more riches than all of you pieces of shit, and why the fuck are we not number one? Kind of like China, I guess. Africa, I think the next number one... China's kind of peaking number one. Empires rise and fall. They're going to come up, they're going to come down. Then I think it's time for India, the rise of India. India shall rise. And then I think what's going to happen next is it's going to be Africa, man. Africa's long due to be the world superpower. It makes sense, right? But maybe they don't want to do it. Maybe they don't care for that. Maybe they don't want that, is what I'm saying. McZemzem, in Palestine, the school is also the hospital and library. How many buildings do you think still stand in that open-air prison? McZemzem, that's a very good point, brother. I find it shocking when people can't admit that Israel is just being such a colonizer right now. You know what I'm saying? After what happened to them, but this is what people say, hurt people, and the trauma of coming through a situation like the Holocaust, you think it would just, the people would turn around and be like, now let's not do that. But actually what happens is they say they're not going to do that, but then they kind of need to do it. And there's been so many cases of this in history where traumatized groups of people, like, hurt people do hurt people. You know what I mean? It's like part of their thing. Like, they can't help it almost. Let's do this here. And let's do this. Oh my God. Big comments, babies. Big comments. How's the music coming through? You guys hear the music okay? Wow, dude. We're going to get the titles in for next episode probably. But the titles will come in sexy. This is so hot. Like I said, already got a text message from Steven saying, like, dude, see the high res. Very, very proud. He was like crying. Let's go through some of these comments though. CB Applejack 59. Russia invaded because the Minsk agreement was broken. Yeah, no, that is... You know, the only thing we can say for sure right now is that fighting does need to stop. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to do, a new segment called What Would Tay Do? What would Tay say? And by Tay, I mean Thich Nhat Hanh. You guys know Thich Nhat Hanh? Peace activist. Worked with Palestine for like the 20, 30 years of his life. Worked in Palestine for a peace, like just a peace summit. He did it in Palestine every year for the last like 30, 40 years. Mr. Chess says that they almost bombed on Russian land. Aren't they bombing into Russia? I thought the Ukrainians were bombing right into Russia right now. Pulvinder Singh, if not for the USA, would Russia not already buy the cliffs of Dover? Right. See, Pulvinder, that's the complication of it all. That's where I think both sides can say, no, we have to fight because the other side is too much of a maniac. So then the other side's gonna be like, we have to fight because these guys are maniacs. But at the end of the day, I do think this is a mistake. Like, I do think we're making a mistake with this kind of thinking, because at the end of the day, I think the only way, all these fights, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh Muslim, I should say too, all these fights in the society, I really think that the only thing that can stop them is remembering that we are all one. Satnam, as the Sikh people say, Satnam. It is one energy that ignites us all. And I think we have to remember that. Oh, I didn't even do the Nityananda and it's already 10:47. Fuck. Okay, dude, we're going to do Nityananda. But I do think it's important, while we're talking about war and peace, that peace, like you know, when you talk to any fight, any group of people, even like a husband wife or neighbors or whoever, a husband wife that's gotten to the point where they're like, we can't do anything, we got to get the divorce. You can't go in there and parse it out and say, like, if one of them says like they start yelling at each other and you're in the room and they go, Amish, am I wrong or what? And you just go, hey, don't involve me. This fight's been going back too many years. I can't just jump in on this point and say this person's even right. It's like, you're both a mess. That's what all fighting is. You know, and when you all fighting is like, it requires you. And I remember in this incredible movie, you guys ever seen Princess Mononoke? Princess Mononoke is a peace activism movie. And I remember the Boers in it, they were like, the Boers were basically saying that like, because it was basically like a war, but fought between different animal groups. So it was like the wolves were one group. Then the Boers were like a big group that were in a fight. And then there was like there's like 4 or 5 tribes in the jungle that were all going to go to war because these humans came in. And you know what the storyline is? It's actually like this like woman who was an ex-prostitute, but then she started saving prostitutes. And then with the saved prostitutes, she starts this business, but it's a very like environmentally damaging business. It's like a colonial business. She's a colonizer. So it's basically a fight. This movie, Princess Mononoke, it's a cartoon kids movie. It's an amazing movie. It's basically a fight between feminists or like liberal feminists, whatever, and colonizers. It's like that's the two. She's both at the same time. She's at the same time like someone, ex-prostitute who saves other sex workers and like saves them and helps their families, has a good retirement plan, whatever. But her whole business is just destroying the rainforest or like whatever that forest is. But I remember there's this great scene in the movie. Have you guys seen that movie, by the way? Let me show you the clips, actually. I got to show you the clip from the movie. It's so good. I wonder if we'll even be allowed to use it. Well, it's on Netflix Anime. Okay, let's take a look at it. This is very important for the culture. But this is, I think, how we should be thinking about peace activism. We shouldn't be thinking in terms of... Oh, no, that's the intro. Okay, comment. Here we go. Here we go. You guys got to see this. This is one of the greatest movies. And yeah, it's basically a fight. It's like a bitter death fight between like the one person is like a feminist businesswoman, owns the business. She's like helps prostitutes, whatever. And then the other one is a girl who lives with the wolves now, and she's a hyper environmentalist. That's what it is. It's a feminist against an environmentalist. It's a crazy movie. It's like one of the best movies I've ever seen. That's the good guy in it. Hold on, let me kill the music. I gotta figure out how to transition without doing that every time. Hold on, let me just play Le Clip. That's the two of them. She's the colonizer on the left, and then this is the environmentalist. So it really is like but it is a feminist versus environmentalist.
What do you think you're doing, boy? Stay your hand. The girl's life is now mine.
I gotta pause. Are we gonna get dinged for this? Is this a dinger, people? What do you guys think? In the comments. This is... true pacifism is the path to salvation in the film. Yeah, Omar, you've seen this movie? It's so tight, dude. This movie, this is... Okay, watch what he says here.
I'm sure she'll make a lovely wife for you.
Rip. She's... in these cartoon movies, they do that, like the older woman. See, he's like the hot guy who's going to save the town. He's too righteous to just bang them. I feel like if it was older for older people, because this guy's just going around murdering people. Like in the opening fight scene, he just like this guy's coming after him, and he like shoots an arrow, chops off both of the guy's hands. This guy's a ripper, but won't bang like that. You know what I mean? He like falls in love with the wolf girl who's like his age, but then the older one is also, I think, a little bit like, I got a bunch of hookers here. This whole, like, they're all hookers, and they think you're hot. Like, there's scenes where he walks in, and they're like, ooh, who's he? He's a powerful warrior. They're so excited over him, but he's too righteous. He won't do it.
There's a demon inside of you. It's inside both of you. Look, everyone! This is what hatred looks like. This is what it does when it catches hold of you.
Do you see? This is righteous. This can be applied to all fighting in the world. This is the most righteous message. He's saying this is what hatred does. Do you see it?
It's eating me alive, and very soon now it will kill me.
It's eating me alive. It's so good.
I'm sure she'll make a lovely wife for you.
He actually gets poisoned. So what happens is, because all this fighting happens, the forest creates this evil juju. The juju has infected him. So now he has to go, and because he's so powerful in his meditation and is such a powerful warrior, he's maintaining the hatred. It's like this demon that's in him.
There's a demon inside of you.
And make sure that in the comment section, when you start making your points, I'm on this team and they fucking did this and this team fucking did this, make sure that there's not hatred in your hearts.
It's inside both of you. Look, everyone! This is what hatred looks like. This is what it does when it catches hold of you. It's eating me alive, and very soon now it will kill me. Fear and anger only make it grow faster. I'm getting a little bored.
Fear and anger only make it grow faster. Do you see that comment section? Mr. Chess, CB, go fight on Russian side if they are so righteous. Mr. Chess, just cool it. This conversation is starting to become full with anger and bitterness. You are just saying there are more Nazis in Russia than Ukraine. You don't even... Applejack. I mean, I don't know, Applejack. I mean, the Nazi thing. Listen, Applejack will send us some stuff. And I do want to look into this Nazi thing. Because what I've seen about it does feel a little bit like they're not anymore... You know what I mean? Are they worse? What do you guys think? But what did you guys think of that clip? And are people going to watch the clip? It's so powerful. That movie is so powerful. It's a peace activism movie. It's so beautiful. Oh my God, Mr. Chess. Okay, on the one hand, Applejack is pissed and he's ripping. It's fine. But, and I like how everyone's using the word righteous. These are very good karmas. Can I just tell you that? You guys are doing very good karmas in the comment section. Very good karmas. And, we're going to do this. We got to do this topic. I said I'd do it. I also said I wouldn't just go on rips for like 3 hours at a time. But this is a decent sized rip, I'd say. Here we go. Okay. Okay. I'm just seeing Applejack's, article that he sent me. Okay, Applejack, we're going to read it, but we do have to lower hate. Like, there shouldn't be any personal hatreds here. Okay, we got two topics now. All right, well, let's bring up, since we're here, let's just bring up this Amnesty International article that Applejack sent me. And this doesn't mean that I won't read other people's articles, but this just means that he is, he's making a point. Let's see what he's got here. Okay, here we go. Amnesty International. And look, I do want to be the kind of person who reads a nice Amnesty International. Let's make me smaller, shall we? Let's put on a little music for you guys. You guys into this music? Just chill out. Yeah. Dude, 2 hour rips, 2 hours done. Are you kidding me? I gotta go soon. I gotta do work. Like, I have writing deadlines right now. But I do really enjoy doing this, so thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you. And listen, without you, I'm basically a crazy person. Without you guys watching, I'm a lunatic. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a goddamn lunatic if you guys aren't watching. So thanks for watching. I do appreciate you. And let's do this Amnesty International article. I will accept cookies from Amnesty International. Thank you. Fuck, sorry, this is too loud. Sorry about that. This volume control is the dumbest volume control. Like, as you're about to change the volume, if you click the wrong spot, it just goes volume 100%. Why would it do that? That's such a bad way to do, you know what I mean? Anyway, Ukrainian fighting tactics endanger civilians. Wait a minute. So Amnesty International is saying that Ukrainian fighting tactics endanger civilians. Okay. Military bases set up in residential areas include schools and hospitals. Attacks launched from populated civilian areas. Such violations in no way justify Russia's indiscriminate attacks, which have killed and injured countless civilians. Yeah, like if they roll in on you... You know what I'm saying, Applejack? Like, listen, I'm here for peace. I'm a peace activist. And we have to watch the bitterness increasing in our hearts, 100%. That's important. But, like, if you get attacked, are you not supposed to, like, things get desperate, dude. I mean, remember when he just shot that Russian fucking missile into Poland, killed 2 people, and he goes, World War III has begun. He just does, like, a world address. Ladies and gentlemen, World War III has begun, and the Russians started it, and everyone's in the fight now. So don't be a pussy, and you better goddamn fight with me. Yeah, you know, what are you going to do? Not what are you going to do. Yeah, it is a little bit of a what are you going to do, I think. But let's read it. Let's read it, and then we're going to go to Nityananda. Nityananda article is hilarious. Here we go. I love how you guys are just arguing with each other. Let's all follow along. Ukrainian forces have put civilians in harm's way by establishing bases and operating weapon systems in populated residential areas, including in schools and hospitals, as they repelled the Russian invasion that began in February, Amnesty International said today. Here's what I wonder about with Ukraine. Like, okay, have the Russians done anything to make you even think that this would deter them? Like, I don't think the Russians care if they kill your civilians. So is this a real strategy that you moved your things to near civilians? As if the Russians are like... Because can you imagine if 2 people are bombing? It's like, but sir, it is beside children's school. And the other guy goes... I don't care. And the other guy goes, yeah, of course. Yeah, okay, yeah. Dude, this is Russian warfare, dude. This is Eastern Front warfare. It's 10 times worse than Western Front, from what I've heard. Such tactics violate international humanitarian law and endanger civilians, as they turn civilian objects into military targets. The ensuing Russian strikes in populated areas have killed civilians and destroyed civilian infrastructure. We have documented a pattern of Ukrainian forces putting civilians at risk and violating the laws of war when they operate in populated areas, said Agnes Callamard, Amnesty International Secretary General. I don't know. You know, Applejack, I'm having a hard time getting sympathy on this. I kind of feel like, you know, the Russians took it physical. And that is a big sin on their part. That is a sin that has to be counted. Did they exhaust all their options? You know, is it something the Americans would have done too? Yes, but I've said they are also sinners. the Americans in this. They are sinners. But I just don't see how Ukraine has done something wrong. Or the Russian people, or the American people, quite frankly. And that's it. And don't say both sidesism, and don't say take a side. That's a loving kindness side. That is a full integrity love side. Is that correct, Babaji? Yes, very good, Baba. That is very nice, everyone loving. What a sweet man. Do you think this guy would let us fight? That's my Babaji, and he's not letting us fight. But if the fight gets started, I mean, I guess Ukraine's got to fucking rip and dip. I mean, you got to rip and dip a little. Such tactics violate... Okay, we've seen that. Being in a defensive position does not exempt the Ukrainian military from respecting international humanitarian law. And there's the next point. Not every Russian attack documented by Amnesty International followed this pattern. However, in certain other locations in which Amnesty International concluded that Russia had committed war crimes, including in some areas in the city of Kharkiv, the organization did not find evidence of Ukrainian forces located in the civilian areas unlawfully targeted by the Russian military. You know what's happening is that, like, this is the cycle of trauma where for all these years, there's like a little, these guys did something and these guys did, like Hindus and Muslims, they can, no matter who you talk to, because I've talked to a lot of Muslims that are pissed about it. And then I've talked to a lot of Hindus that are like, that just hate Muslims. And they both have a point like this. They can both point at something that the other people did that is awful and evil. And what they don't realize is that their attitude of like, okay, well, they did that, so now we're allowed to do this. When you say they did something non-righteous, so now I'm going to do something non-righteous, now you're doing something non-righteous, now you've lowered your vibration, and you have created more suffering for yourself. So if Ukraine is doing this, it is to their own suffering, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like I mean, obviously, like it is to their own suffering if they're doing this. But I understand the position they're in because they're being attacked. What are they going to do? CB Applejack exhausted all their options. 8 years of bombing. Applejack, you know, you're coming. I don't know. I think you're coming in on one side. You know, let's not say one side's okay. Pulvinder Singh says, yes, Guardian has good articles on Russian use of gas in Syria. Okay, good. Also, Pulvinder, you're up on the news politics, of course. He's a warrior. He's a warrior. He has a warrior spirit. Omar Sabir, Zelensky is a crooked dude, just another puppet. I know, but so is Biden. We can't bring up their corruption and their Nazis and their war crimes more while they're being attacked. We should bring it up less. But if they're doing those things, they will suffer from it. That's the thing. Exhausted all their options. 8 years of bombing. Mr. Chess says Ukrainians aren't bad people. Don't use one example to make all of Ukraine bad. They are fighters for peace and righteousness. Interesting. Before this war, and then Applejack says, before this war, they were most corrupt country with far right ideals. Now they are not bad people. How are they far right? Is Russia not far right? Yeah. Yeah, no, I do think this is happening a lot in the conversation right now around this. Launching strikes from populated civilian areas, military bases in hospitals, military bases in schools, indiscriminate attacks by Russian forces. Many of the Russian strikes that Amnesty International documented in recent months were carried out with inherently indiscriminate weapons, including internationally banned cluster munitions, or with other explosives with side effects, with wide area effects. Others used guided weapons with varying levels of accuracy. In some cases, the weapons were precise enough to target specific objects. The Ukrainian military's practice of locating military objectives within populated areas does not in any way justify indiscriminate Russian attacks. All parties to a conflict must at all times distinguish between military objectives and civilian objects and take all feasible precautions, including in choice of weapons to minimize civilian harm. I mean, once you start fighting, like, I don't know how many of these, like, okay, one thing I agree with is, like, to ban torture, because by the time you're torturing someone, like, first of all, it doesn't work, but by the time you're torturing someone, like, the danger's gone. Now you're just being a vindictive piece of shit. And you're fucking them up and you're trying to get information or trying to make them say information. Like, it doesn't work. It doesn't get reliable information. You're hurting another person. Actually, all negativity and fighting does not work. It only creates destruction. It only divides us further. It does not bring love, which should be our goal. However, the difference between torturing and then this is that torture is this effort where they're like, okay, let's make a jail for it. It's like this planned effort, like Guantanamo Bay, where there's a bureaucracy and a system, and it's like you're not in a dangerous position where you have to fight for your life. The situation's over, and now you're torturing this guy. Telling yourself that like, oh, then we'll prevent it, but really, it's like it's petty at this point. It doesn't work, and whatever, and you're wasting your time, and it's bad for everyone. The thing about fighting is that the way military works is that you got to look for every advantage. So it's hard to fault the Ukrainians for doing this. At the same time, I think the Ukrainians will suffer for doing this if they're doing this. I trust that I actually think they're probably doing it, and I think they'll suffer for it. But I don't blame them a little bit. Let's see what the comments are saying. Okay, Mr. Chess and Applejack are deep in it. That's fine. Omar says both have biases. Omar says you guys say far right like it's inherently bad. You both biases and hate in your hearts. Hey! I do have to correct you, Omar. Nobody has hate in their heart. Only love is in your heart. So, correction. Love cannot be in your heart because... hate cannot be in your heart because hate is an illusion. Fascism died a long time ago, AG. Okay. Right equals fascist. Tony Two Santos. Tony Two Santos. Huey's here. Huey, Russia is one of the most right-wing countries in the world. Yeah, dude. Russia's very right-wing. Like, have you ever seen the Russian video? Like, I remember I was watching Patrick Bet David, and they're just talking about how in Russia, they're doing this thing of, like, they're saying in Russia, like they're playing a speech by Putin. And the whole speech was like, we don't want gay people. Gay people, do you want gay people? I said, I don't want gay people. Like, it was, like, all stuff like that. But the thing is, Ukraine's probably not that different. That's the issue with it. Is that at this time, starting to demonize the enemy as like they're warmongers, they're evil, they're racist, they're Nazi, it's like, I don't know if that's productive in peace activism, but I will check in with Thich Nhat Hanh, and I'll come back with a decision on. I mean, I've made my decision so far, but I'll come back with maybe more insight and more wisdom from Thich Nhat Hanh, who probably knows that like this is the way to deal with the situation. I'm pretty sure one of his precepts of like doing peace is like not demonizing the enemy. It's like he sees that as a mistake to demonize the enemy and to start bringing up things like they're doing this bad and they're doing this bad. Like it's a mistake, and it's pulling you further down into a negative vibration and creating an illusion. And this is how people become their enemies. There's actually a lot of quotes about this. Like, if you fight with someone, you kind of become them. So the idea that, like, Russia and Ukraine, like, one's good and one's evil, I don't know. Technically right now, I'm going to stick by the first thing I said. Putin is evil. Not evil. There is no evil, actually. There's only ignorance. And I am updating our scale of righteousness, by the way. Scale of righteousness will be ready for the next episode. Hopefully graphics will be done too. And we'll do that Nityananda article on the next episode, because you know what? It just feels like we got to come back with a culter. You know what I mean? We got to do cult, or we got to do cultural grift. Today was more of like a military cultural grift episode, but I will come back with more of a traditional scam and cults episode, because I do have some guests that want to come on the show. By the way, tomorrow night, I'm doing a show in Toronto, Comedy Bar, if you guys want to come check it out. It's with this guy, Luke Lindell. Great comic, very funny dude. And he's like in his 50s. So it is very inspiring to see someone like that start in stand-up and just go for a rip. The guy's producing like 8 shows in Toronto. It's called Comedy Nuggets. But it is very inspirational to see him just go on a tear like this at his age, to be like, I'm going full stand-up. I don't give a fuck. And he's doing full rips. He's doing comedy, like he's working on it. He looks silly, though. He looks like he's meant to do comedy. You know what I mean? Silly guy. Let me show you the flyer, actually. Let me show you who Luke Lindell is. This is the show I'm doing on Monday. Here we go. No. Yes. This is the show I'm doing on Monday. It's called, this is on my Instagram page. This is the show I'm doing on Monday. The guy's name is Luke Lindale. Let's see if we can go to Luke Lindale's thing. Comedy Nuggets. This is it. No, not on Facebook. Yeah, here we go. Comedy Nuggets. This is the guy. This is the guy right here. Luke Lindale. Just started comedy. The guy produces like 1 million shows. Comedy Nuggets is his company. That's him. I'm doing a show on Monday. Very excited for that. Hopefully that one's sold out too. I don't know, but very excited for that. I really got to stop doing that screen jig. But yeah, thanks for watching the Righteousness Report. I think we accurately judge the righteousness of several people. And righteousness, there is complexity to it. There is complexity to it. You know, we try to have compassion. You know, I'll say it again, Applejack, love you. Applejack is our mod, and he's a friend of our show. But this goes to show you just how righteous we are on this show. That still, I would say to Applejack, like, you know, try to forgive them. You know? Try to forgive them. See the spot that they're in. See them as maybe a pawn in a bigger political game. A lot of people are calling this a proxy war. I do think it is a proxy war. It's an American proxy war, 100%. Like, I mean, I don't know why. If you think it's wrong to say that, I think you're, you know, you need to live in reality. The Americans are profiting from this. And I'll say it again. This is a righteousness report. Official righteousness review on the situation. Putin, not righteous. Full ignorant. America, large chunk of it, not righteous. Corrupted. Funding the war, getting rich off of it. Let's not forget these things. Let's focus where I think the ire needs to be. Ukraine, I have to give them forgiveness. Because war makes you do awful things too. You know what I mean? So you know, and that's where I'll end on that. And like I said, Monday night I got a show. Oh, tonight 9 p.m. I have my meditation class. Sign up for my meditation class, and we actually go on the bus. You want to go on a bus? You want to go on a school bus? We go on this school bus, and we go on an adventure into the heart, actually. So I think someone earlier was saying something. Someone earlier said that there's hate in your heart, and it's like, nope, incorrect. There can't be hate in the heart. The heart is pure love. That's where the energy source is coming in from. And that's where we go. We take that bus and we go right in there. And we see where that energy is coming in, and we see where we're shooting it. Because the mind is very cunning. It will steal your energy and put it into different schemes and scams. Let me just thank everyone one last time for coming. I appreciate you guys all. Thank you, Applejack, of course, Omar. Great discussion. Mr. Chess says, I cease arguing. I love that you guys just wear each other. You guys just wear each other out. It's so funny. Palvinder Singh says pipe music. Yeah. We got new music coming in next time too. Chipko, thank you. Peace and higher vibrations. All there is complexity, but we navigate together. Yes, Chipko. Sharecourt, thanks for coming. Tony Santos, what up? Okay, here we go. You can actually put links in here. Can I click on this? Oh, wow. Oopsie poopsie. I shouldn't have done that, but now I know that it can be clicked inside of this. This program is sexy, and I can't wait to get it. Here we go. This program is so sexy. The CB. Why am I saying CB Applejack? No, it's not CB Applejack. It's. Why do I have to click on that? Okay. Samson Habib. Good name. And this is a good song to end on. Finian Lobar. What's up, Finian? Thank you for coming. Appreciate you. Let me honor our donos. We got to honor the donos. Look at all these comments, dude. Every time I have a comic on, they see that there's actual people commenting. They're like, whoa, sick, dude. Like, you guys, like, there's people that watch this? Yes, we do have a very strong and powerful congregation. Thank you all for coming. CB Applejack dropped $2. Exhausted all their options. 8 years of bombing. I understand your frustration, Applejack. I understand your frustration, brother. But, you know, see if you can have forgiveness. See if you can have forgiveness. The Real Deal says, Omar Sabir, scientists are still studying it. Studying what? Where does P go? Interesting. Okay. Well, anyway, listen, like I said, follow me on Instagram. There you'll get all the updates. I got a post about my meditation class tonight, 9 p.m. I basically open with jokes, and then, like I said, we go on a journey into the heart. And you can take the bus or you can take your own vehicle. You actually create your own vehicle in there too. Yeah, it's a powerful program that I created myself, and people say that they go in and they get a full 100% source recharge. And that source energy is a pure love energy that's igniting you. So we go in there, it comes in, inhales deeply. Brantford Stream Archive says, loving the spiritual vehicle. Yes, it is spiritual, and it is from the Ukraine. This design was done by a Ukrainian. So we do honor them. Even though we do a lot of peace activism here. Let's make sure we're keeping it on peace. And that's and I think we have a good solution on this. CB Applejack says a final point. I think Ukraine should leave the Donbass alone, and I think Russia needs to remove all of their troops from Ukraine. Can we end on that? Mr. Chess says, why should they leave Donbass when it was their land? No, he said leave them alone. You see this? Now the fight's beginning again. Guys, you see what war does? It's tearing us apart. But we're not going to let it tear us apart. We're going to hit that like, hit that subscribe, do our karmas. We're going to be back here at least on Sunday, 9 a.m. Let's go Sundays, 9 a.m. What's the numbers like? Let's see. Let's take a look at this. I can't even see it. How do I see it? I'm sure you guys can tell me. It doesn't matter. It's fine. But let's set a time. Message me on Instagram. Let me know when you guys want me to do the podcast, because we do need the community here supporting it, talking about these very important topics, doing our karmas, doing righteous rips that raise the vibration. And remember that I am the only certified pundit really on YouTube. I don't think there's anyone else doing punditry on YouTube that has the certification that's going on the trips that I'm going on to raise my vibration, to pontificate so poignantly, so righteously. Every time you hear a good rip, it does raise your vibration. So remember that. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, tell your friends. I'm going to call it. As soon as I figure out how to stop the stream, I'm going to stop it.